Big up to all those in YouTube land. What can we say? Preseason was awful, and Atletico Madrid are pissed with Chelsea right now. All that and more in Blues Brothers episode 25. Let's go! Big up all those in YouTube land. And big up to JPT. We're back on the Blues Brothers, baby. Oh, yeah. Finally, yes. We will be back every week from this week on as the season starts. How are you feeling, my brother?
Well, preseason's done.
It's down here from hill, bro. From here, man.
Well, yeah, we'll see it, man. What? It's been. If you are a Chelsea fan, it's been a crazy last 48 hours, especially. We'll say with all the transfer news going on, or man, there's a lot to talk about. Where do you want to start?
Oh, hang on. Well, first of all, we'll do a bit of housekeeping. Big up, Mel.
Miss Molina, yes.
Love the new pick, by the way. Looking gorgeous, darling. Absolutely gorgeous. Well, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And yes, we'll start off from head to toe, right? Now, the transfer situation. JPT mentioned the last 48 hours and how we have walked away from, what's his name? Samaru. What did you say his second name again?
Meridian.
Yeah, come on, man, help me out. You got that South American pronunciation.
It's not even South American. I'm calling him Samu Onomatopoeia. Like I'm don't know what else to call it. It's a difficult name to say.
Jose Jalapeno on his stick.
Jalapeno. Oh my goodness, the deal is collapsed.
Well, apparently, hang on. So those that don't know, let me enlighten you, right? Supposedly the deal for Conor Gallagher is just needs to tick for, say, all done, finished. Now, supposedly. Now, we were negotiating for this guy, and apparently, he wants greater wages than what we're willing to give him. So we've just kind of gone, you know what? Forget it, we're done. So we've walked away from this guy. And Atletico Madrid are scathing because they were under the assumption that we were going to take one bag egg off of them, for them, and they were going to take one of ours. Now, I have no idea personally if Conor's going to end up coming back or not, but I think it might depend on how much Diego might want him, because they have let go of a few players. You know what I mean? There's a couple of legends that have left that club this year, in the build-up to this pre-season. So maybe they might be a bit of squad depth. But JPT, your thoughts? First of all, on Conor.
Oh, okay. I mean, it looked like it was all said and done. I mean, I'll say, let me start by saying, the emotional roller coaster just talking about this specific deal. Because, you can look at it, it's like, okay, one guy who's willing to fight for the badge. I mean, to be honest, I didn't see him as more than a squad player, a guy just you bring up for the last 20, 30 minutes for the game. But, our fan base is like, you had to back these guys up. I kind of got it that we were going to go with the money. Makes it a pure profit. That's, the story with him and Chalobah. We'll see if we talk about him later in the stream. Okay, so he's set to go. We're expecting to bag, 35, 30, 36 mil? Okay.
And the deal, we had the other way where it was supposed to be 34. It was
34, right. We would have been, we would have came out of that deal as suckers, man. Samu, really? We're just going to get him plus, 5 mil on top? Or no, not even 2 mil on top.
Not even that. I don't know why they just didn't do a swap deal. Simple swap, but...
I mean, I would just... I get they're trying to get some money back because they just spent heavy on Julian Alvarez. Which I can't... What was it? 77 plus... No. 72 plus 20.
Here today, we are the club that just keeps on giving, bro. Big up here today. Sorry, JPT.
Oh, no, you're good. And actually, just going back on, that's actually good because what came to mind when we were talking about this preseason and everything, I was like, it didn't feel like, okay, this is the gap between our upcoming season and everything. This felt like an extension of how we ended up last season. Yeah, we made it to 6. But man, we barely, we scratched and clawed our way up to 6. So it was just like Headache Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. Like it was an extension of, or a sequel to what was already happening. Because guess what? Our defense is leaking, and we might be playing well to go up to the final third, but we cannot put our chances away. So we're getting that mixed bag of shitness. Which owners make? I get it, but y'all still got Calafiore, and I'm kind of wondering about the Eddie Nketiah deal with Vargav. Some of their deals.
Well, I did send in the link.
Yeah,
I think I did anyway. If not, what I'll do, Bargav, if you still want to join us, because I did mention I sent you a WhatsApp. So, but just in case, there's the link in the chat if you want to jump in. But yeah,
why were we getting Samu for? Like, what were we trying to just get Nicholas Jackson Part 2? Like, oh, let's take our chances again on a young striker from La Liga?
Genuinely, what I think in that situation, the only thing I can think of is Broja out, him in.
We couldn't do better. There's not like a middle ground there. This guy had what? How many appearances?
35 last season, and he scored 8 goals.
Okay. And
which is better than Broja, to be honest.
I mean, Broja. Then again, I mean, he's already set to go out the door. We're not going to get the Broja we were hoping before his meaningless. I don't say meaningless, but could have easily been avoided injury in their family. But you know, it is what it is. I mean, look, he barely got any playing time at Fulham, and I still don't think they found a proper replacement for Mitrovic there. But back to Samu. You know, why don't we just take the profits or take the money we got from Connor and just focus on Victor and then see what do they need to sell a player to make the deal work? Because I know it's like a 3-way mess right now. You let him build. And that's the thing. I mean, I here or there says Nico Jackson's underrated. Yeah, you know, if he's cleaned up on his accuracy, just being more clinical, then this guy could bag. It's not crazy to say 20. But that's if he's learned. Either let him build on it. Do you trust him more on the wings though, or do you just want him to be like all out number 9?
You know what? I'm actually in agreement with what he there says. I think Jackson, because he didn't. You could see him improving last year.
Second half of the season.
You could actually see him improve. So I'm not being funny. If we are Project Youth / to develop everybody, and he's one of the few like Paul Carmen that are actually making some progress. Because I'm not being funny. Like this is the thing. What exactly are you trying to develop a team from young and bring them together? In that case, if someone's not banging 20 goals a season because he's 22 and I'm not gonna lie, the guy got 17 goals in his first season. I think that's worth patience. Doesn't anyone else? Considering he just came to this. Chelsea were a shit show at the beginning of last season as well. So I think as the team got better structured, things went better for him. So, and I'm not being funny. He was what? For what we paid for him?
32? Was it 32, 34?
It was a bargain. So I don't think it's not a case of getting rid of Nicholas Jackson or anything else like that. But anyway, just quickly a bit of housework. Big up to Leroy on the Fight Week show. Hope you are doing well, my brother. The important thing is to note how Mun are going to dominate this year, meaning Manchester United. Yeah, I doubt it.
I mean, defensive. The latest signings, big upgrades. The main issue for them, I think, was up front though, because Højlund, how long is he out for the season? Or not for the season, but is he out for a while?
I don't know. I don't know how long. I think it's about half the season. He's out for about 4 or 5 months. Højlund, I think. They got a couple of unlucky injuries. You know what? What happened to them was what happened to us. Yeah, it's what happened to us last year. With Lavia and Jackson, not Jackson, Nkunku, sorry.
Yeah.
And Jackson is the ideal partner for Palmer and Nkunku. He's link-up play. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But I'm not being funny. I can see us having a problem with Nkunku.
Injury-wise or?
No, tactical-wise. Because basically, when he was playing for RB Leipzig and they got the best out of him, he was basically playing else with someone in front of him. Now, I'm not being funny with Jackson. That's not Jackson and Nkunku at Chelsea. Are we gonna focus on him to get the goals, or is it going to be? Because I'm not being funny. This central striker role issue. Because I'm not being funny. Either way you put it, unless you're looking to put Palmer in the right, which I think is a mistake, because you don't get the best out of Palmer. He's best centrally.
I mean, that's how Maresca wants to use him centrally. But I mean, I won't be opposed to him playing on the right wing. I won't say it's a mistake.
So what would you say with what we've got? It'll be Nkunku, Palmer, then with maybe someone else on the right, or Pedro Neto, with Jackson on the left.
Well, what I was saying was Palmer on the right. Nkunku, if we play in a 4-2-3-1 system, I'm not sure how we're going to line up, but I would do, right wing Palmer, Cam, Nkunku, left wing Neto, now that he's here, and then up front Jackson. I mean, I would say like if Victor Osimhen comes through, but it's
if Osimhen comes in,
that's all skeptical. It's it's all hypothetical.
Well, if Osimhen comes in, does that mean Jackson goes out?
That's the thing. Either that or he goes into left wing role and let Neto kind of help get integrated into the system.
Well, where do you think Neto's going to go? Because obviously we have signed a very good player in Pedro Neto. We'll talk about him in a minute, and how we integrate him into this shit show would probably be the best thing to say. Here today says, indeed, Wolf. Leipzig played a 4-4-2. Basically, I think the big problem Enzo can say they need to figure out how to play together. I don't think it's a problem of how they play together, because I've seen them at times play very well together. Like when we played Arsenal at the Bridge. I'm not being funny. For 70 minutes, our midfield ran that match, and I'm not. And it was Sanchez's bad passing that really put Caicedo in trouble for you guys' first goal. Yeah. But the thing is, I think if you can get the structure, because I think massively now we've got weakness in the wide positions, and I'm not even talking about a weakness in wide up front. I mean in the back, because the way this system plays. But before we move on to that, though, I want to get if Connor did end up coming back, JPT, how would you feel about that? Because the idea of that Atletico could just terminate this and send him back and say, look, you didn't do what you did, so we're not going to finish. You know what I mean? Is this going to be one of those situations you reckon he's going to be running down his contract?
At this point, yeah, because I don't know if we're expected to get anything close to 34. 36 for Connor come January. We're gonna see him go on a free because he could just run out his contract and then get the wages he wants at the team he wants. But right now, the first thing I want to know is if this deal collapses and or if we keep him, why do we bring in Dewsbury Hall? Because that's the waste of another 35 right there.
Well, hang on a minute. What if we, because I'm not being funny, right? With what we've got now, wouldn't the midfield be better with big up Bargav in the building as well? Wouldn't it be better with maybe Enzo, Caicedo, and maybe Palmer as the starting three, with maybe Connor, Lavia, and what's his name again? Dewsbury Hall. As the squad players, would that obviously eventually Connor would run his squad down, or the contract down, excuse me. But do you think that would do us for this year? It'd be a lot more midfield than we had last year, though. We've got 3 players, man, 3 extra players,
and you didn't even include Leslie Uchuku in that neither.
Nchuku, actually, he's actually been playing well preseason. He's been one of our better midfielders, to be fair. He scored against Inter.
And then he come up with another equalizer versus Wrexham. Like it's like this guy's saving our asses from having our preseason look like even more like shit.
Knocking on the door.
But I don't know. To be honest, I don't think Enzo makes it in our starting 11 in midfield. It might be a little not balanced, but I'd rather start Lavia and Caicedo in the midfield pivot and have Nkunku play as the cam. Because right now our defense needs help. We're leaking goals left and right. I don't know. I don't know if this team can carry up at least 5 clean sheets all season.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask you about that, right? And I'm going to ask
Mhm.
Bargav as well because he's watched quite a few games with me, and as well, I've watched it with, and he watched the Madrid Chelsea game with me the
Yeah,
other day,
yeah.
which
We
was
go to
key.
that stream.
Was like, I know this when it comes to the Samu deal. Let's just get rid of this. You didn't want him, just like I didn't want him. It was one of those ones we're looking at our board spending. Why are you spending more money on another kid that we don't need? So fine, if we, to be honest, if we can still make the Connor sale and not buy this guy, so we just make pure profit, I would be happy because that could possibly go towards and because I'm not being funny. You get rid of Conor Gallagher, we're still about what 20 mil up for what profits we've made this season already, just on player sales. We get rid of Connor, we get rid of Lukaku. There's your Osherman money, mate.
And then not even talk about Sterling possibly still going to Juventus, saving us 325K.
I'll tell you what. I heard about Broyer as well. He's potentially going out the door as well. So I'm not being funny in terms of we're not seeing the players sign that we want. But I'm telling you now, they do. I don't know how these guys managed to pull these fire sales out of the bag, bro. If these guys do get rid of all these guys for like 30 odd million each, I will say this: I rate them as businessmen, but not as football team owners. I'll give them that. But
ironically, at what cost? Like we're costing our team our success. The attraction of the club.
This year is make or break for Enzo. He is starting to show me he's willing to work off the ball. Yeah, I do think we could get more out of Enzo off the ball. Hey, Bargav, who's leading Test cricket at the moment, smiley face. Would agree, JPT, but Enzo transfer fee makes it hard to bench him. True, but the thing is, you already know with Enzo, he's a good player. But anyway,
he's a good player, but I just don't think. Do you think our midfield got better when he got injured and we had to put Gallagher next to Caicedo? Because I think that's when we started.
I think what happened was when Connor was there, he did what we call the donkey work.
Yeah.
In the terms of he did all the running, he did all the ball chasing.
He did all the
Caicedo would drop that. So I would say at the moment back then, because of the 3 different styles of player we had, they probably had a better chemistry. But I've never thought I'd say this, but the midfield looked like it had a better under Poch than it does Enzo, the structure. And I'm going to get onto what I'm going to say that about this because, like, moving off from players onto the system for a minute, my God, this system just sends alarm bells off. Now, I'm going to ask Bargav first, and I'm going to ask JPT, and then I'll give my thoughts on this system. But Bargav, you were with me watching the Real Madrid game. Tell me your thoughts on how the defensive, just the structure in general of Chelsea looked to you, and would you be worried about it when you put up when Arsenal players?
You know the complaint about like footballers all the time. The Badia Shield like defending kind of summed up like Chelsea's defending that day. It's not that because I'll be honest, like as much as I don't want to hate on the guy because I mean it is preseason. He probably like
no, don't hold back.
But you can't do that in any game though. Like you really can't do that as a professional footballer. Like not even make an effort for to clear the ball like that. That was just like no. That's one of those things that's just like unforgivable. No, if that was at my club, I would be cussing the dude. But as far as like the defensive structure goes, for you guys are pretty leaky. But I think you guys don't close off gaps really well. So teams that like have really good like forward movement, you're gonna struggle with. As far as like your offense goes, it's just kind of stagnated. I mean, some of your plays just not really quick enough. The passing's not quick enough. I mean, people don't think quick enough either sometimes, which is kind of crazy. But they're also young people, so I don't know if that's like an excuse or not. But like, some of the chemistry is still not there. The one thing I will say is like if Felix's first stint at Chelsea was that positive overall? The first time he came, because I still think he was probably one of your best players, right? Like
JPT, do you want to answer that, and I'll give my thoughts later?
Sure. I was gonna say like for the games he gave us, because I mean, shoot, the first game there he had a straight red card. But yeah, I mean, it's for the short time he was there, I mean, 4 goals. I mean, I'll say this. He also Enzo looked comfortable playing in the same team as him, so it kind of like there was like that chemistry there. That's other than that.
No, the thing is, the guy.
I think he stood out when we were looking at our lowest, like because that was prime Potter right there. I think at the time. So he was the best out of a shit situation. I'll say that.
Yeah, because I thought like the one thing about Felix was like I felt like he was always trying.
I mean, he loves it.
His creative skills were really on display at Chelsea. I think he was a cut above a lot of people. I think was it money that was it money you guys didn't want to pay the money? That's the reason he went back to.
Poch didn't want him.
Poch didn't want him. Okay.
Poch didn't want him.
But
want to say your thoughts?
Well, I was gonna say if it was any player, because I'll big up Dimes in the building as well. How you doing? Well, my bro. Like, well done on getting Delict as well. I think that was a shrewd move on you guys' part. Big up, Dimes.
I would too.
Yeah, man. Like, big up to the Man United fan, man. Sub to this guy's channel, man. Really cool dude. Hopefully, we'll be doing a lot of stuff with him. Realistically, in terms of the forwards that we're re-signing, the one that got away was probably Morata for me.
Exactly.
Because,
yeah.
Because I'm not being funny. Why would you go back for a guy that realistically his style doesn't suit us? Because we've got a guy like Felix in Nkunku. To be honest, he likes to drop into that number 10 sort of role.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those ones where I don't really think if we're really going to try and make anything out of Nkunku, hey, there you go, big up here to there talking. Doesn't make sense for Palmer. There you go, big up here. It just doesn't make any sense because you're packing the middle. You know what I mean? Like what? Just why?
I think people are hyping it up just because with nostalgia, and also too is they're more seeing this like we're not so much that we're getting Joao Felix. It's more so that we're not getting Samu, and I think this is just.
Yeah, they're just.
There's that little like illusion there. I'm like, it's. I would love to have like the player, but do we need him right now with everything that we've? Look at our fucking squad.
You just think you have bigger priorities. That's what you're saying.
Well, that's what I said about Morata, because I'm not being funny. He's experienced. He's a good striker. He knows how to be a handful. He's just come off the back of a winning Euros, and I'm not being funny. He was only 11 mil. Makes sense, doesn't it? But. And he would have been a bit. I'm not being funny. He would have been a different type of forward to play anyway. If you do want to play Jackson up front, and he weren't working, you could probably bang Morata on. And I'm not being funny. He'd probably be happy to be a squad player now anyway, because he's like what 33, 34. He's getting on a bit.
But I mean, do you think he improved or because I know he had like that like a decline. Like he started off well, but then he just couldn't back anything in the back of the net.
Wait, who you talking about? Felix?
No.
Morata.
Morata.
Did he come before or after Diego Costa? After, right?
But the problem is when he came after for Diego Costa, Conte played him more like a target man, where he had to battle the two centre backs, and that isolated him quite a lot. Realistically, this sort of Enzo style suits Morata more than what the classic counter-attacking tactical style of Chelsea used to have, because realistically, if we had a guy that would pass through in the box and he's able to slot in the back of the net, possibly what we can get from Nkunku as well. It's so hard to say, bro, because you know how I feel about modern footballers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they could look great 1 minute and shocking the next. So it's just. But anyway, back onto the subject of our system. Like JPT, give me your thoughts, because I know when I was watching it with Bargav, I said to Bargav, look, once they work out, they can go down the wings. They're going to be all over us, and that's exactly what happened. Like, for what you saw in pre-season, tell me what you think of our structure and how it's fucked up, really.
I'm not really a systems guy, but we didn't look comfortable at all with this. I'm not sure if it was just a big change from what we're seeing with Poch, because even Caicedo has said that with him it was just run. And he sees it with Enzo, it's just tactical. Everything has it's a game plan in play. If they are coming at us to the wings, we are in trouble. Even if they're going through just down the middle. I mean, we don't close the gap enough, and I can't even blame Sanchez for any of the goals that came into the net. But right now, I don't think with this system we have a suitable person to put on defense.
Lads, I'll be right back. I'm being called.
Cucurella looks like he's fitting in well with this, same with Gusto, but I'm not sure about James. I mean, either way, Reece James is going to be out for a little bit with suspension and injury, so the trifecta right there. So it's going to be interesting what his future is going to be as well, because he's not going to be able to. He's not looking good in this system with Enzo. But Bargov, what do you see? Have you seen Chelsea at all? Like,
Yeah,
besides,
I've seen what, like most of the preseason games. I've seen most of the only team I haven't seen much of was Villa. That was the team that I was.
Yeah, they've been getting smacked in preseason as well, but they've been starting different teams every game. So
I mean, they did play Club America, right? So I think that was stylistically that's a tough one. But Liverpool looked really good. Chelsea, I think you guys were using preseason to like work your way into the season, whereas like I think other teams were just like fine tuning. I think that's the difference. But as far as that goes, I think, have you given up on your wingers completely now? Because you pretty much went and got like Neto and thinking about Felix now. So have you given up on your like pretty much your wingers and like looking to move them on at this point?
Well, I think Sterling's one they're looking to move on, and that's who Neto's in to replace. If I'm honest.
And then what about Mudryk?
Nah, I think they'll probably have a try and loan him out, because I'm not being funny. I think there's more to Mudryk. You can get more out of him. You can see this talent. That's the frustrating thing with Mudryk. You can see this talent. I think with just a bit more refinement to his game, you know what I mean? He could be a very, very good player, because he can beat people one-on-one, and he can be extremely quick. I like Mudryk, to be honest. I don't think, realistically, like, because we got Madueke, we got Pedro, we got Sterling. You know, we haven't got crap wingers. Yeah, Madueke was looking good in preseason as well. Yeah. We got here today for mentioning that as well.
What is looking good, by the way? What is looking good? Because he was
scoring.
He was trying.
Yeah, right. He was scoring, and he has scored a couple of goals, and he was probably the most direct player we had against Madrid. If you remember, we were talking about it as well. We talked about that directness. Pedro Neto will be direct, left or right. So because that's one thing I will say. If there is a way to improve this system as it is, in my personal thoughts, you got to play 10 yards back, but have your wingers constantly attacking. Because if you don't keep your opposition's fullbacks or wing backs or whatever pinned back, then literally you are asked, because this, I understand Enzo's system in the terms of it's like how Klopp's and Postecoglou's system is. Once you're playing it at its best and you're putting the pressure on the opposition, I can see where this would work. But the problem is you're trying to play a two-handed instrument with one hand. And that's the only way I can put it, because you don't have the defenders or midfield that are good enough. This would be a difficult system to play for Barcelona in 2006 to play. Because of the way you have to be on your game, you have to be aware of the space around you. You have to be good one-on-one when you are a defender, as you highlighted a minute ago. Badiashile, when he's got someone next to him to take the pressure off him a little bit, is a better defender than what he looked. But because he was constantly one-on-one, he was just getting torn apart. Now, I like Badiashile. I think he's a good set-piece guy. I think he's good for corners and stuff like that. You know what I mean? He has his uses. Don't even get me started on Wesley Fofana. Oh dear. But I do think, like, in terms of like the two players that we could have used in the right position against Real Madrid, because who was there at the time? Who was it? Right? Was it Adebayo? Was the right centre back that game?
I think wasn't it Colwell Badiashile or no?
Yeah, no, but I think Badiashile was in the centre though, wasn't he? And Colwell was on the left, because he was a three at the back.
And then Tosin on the right, and then on the
Tosin was on the right. So, and I'm not being funny. Me and JPT both know who's at Chelsea is good at playing on the right hand side of a three, is experienced, done it all before in multiple systems with 3 at the back with multiple managers and still been decent. Trevor Chalobah.
Well, I mean, you could say your club captain.
If he's
Well,
healthy
you know,
or not suspended.
Well, I'm not being funny yet, but I have to say it's trash because you're asking natural centre backs to play on the wide positions. Now Rudy Yeager could do it because he had the pace, and obviously Azpilicueta, when he was playing in that back three on the right side, he's a right back anyway, so he understood what it was to watch the space.
But you know this was
100%.
this
It
was
a
my
nightmare,
complaint.
HPT.
You know this was my complaint about the modern game, right? Everyone's copying Pep, right? Center backs on the right, we did it with Ben White. What is it like?
Center back
Like
system.
Maresca's pretty much using that same blueprint, and he's trying to get to that. He's trying to get to a certain level with that blueprint, basically. And this is why, like, the whole Pep Mafia thing is always.
Well, this is the problem I always have with this Pep Mafia. You're not gonna out Pep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing's better. So a counterfeit will never be as good as the.
It's not even
original.
a counterfeit.
It's the original's just the remake.
The original's going to be better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've
It's
always
like-
said. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal. Don't get Alien Ant Farm cover was great, but was it on the same level as the man? No. You know what I mean? Was it on that level? Nah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, so all these other managers that come in have your own unique style and like play it and then figure it out.
Well, this
That's
is what I
the
said.
way it should be. That's the way it should be.
I
Well,
mean, that's
what I
why you
said.
see
He
like
needs
Ten
to
Hag
play
and Arnie or Klopp would be the
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
that's an excuse for that too.
everyone else is just like always
Well,
best.
the thing is,
Try Wolf, go ahead.
If Enzo was to play his strategy a bit further back and not have such a higher line, I could understand it.
See that,
Because-
but that's a strategy that could work though, because people picking, deep lying midfielders picking apart like
Well, the thing is, I'll tell you an example. This is the reason why I think Conte was the best tactical manager we ever had, and Tuchel as well, because they knew it was best for us to press when we were in our own half.
Mhm.
Because that was the one thing we were the best at in the whole Premier League, counter-attacking. Even our Champions League goal against Man City is a counter-attack. That's what.
How much of
Basically,
that do you
that's
think
what-
is how much of that do you think is down to the whole the English game in ways? Because I feel like
No,
a
because
lot
I'll
of
tell
the
you-
a lot of the English fans, like, it has to be high press all the time. Which,
No, because our style over the last 25, 30 years has been a European kind of style anyway. We
Right.
played a little bit slower, maybe a little bit more technical and tactical, and we defended for our life. To be honest, we are an Italian team in the Premier League up until 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right?
It's Italian teams, Italian teams,
we literally we defended like one. Like even when our Champions League final, it was just shut down, get a counter-attacking goal, shut down, see it through. You know what I mean? And the thing is, you've taken away exactly what makes us a dangerous club: our grit, our determination, our togetherness, if you like. You've ripped that apart because no player who's come through the ranks at Chelsea is going to feel part of it, because you've just seen two of the best successes or whatever, like in recent times, getting forced out the door. So don't give me all this all for one and one for all shit, because it ain't gonna wash. Like, it's just never gonna work. The only centre backs in the Premier League who can survive in the channels are Saliba, Van Dijk, Van de Ven, Gabriel, the absolute elite. Well, I'd say Van Dijk's gonna fall out of that category soon, because he's gonna start getting exposed for pace, and you could see it last season, by the way.
I mean, Ake, you can probably add Ake. You can probably
No, because he got made his bones at through Pep playing on the left it was almost like a left back. A left-sided centre back.
You're not a fan of Ake?
No,
You're not a fan of Ake, huh?
No, I liked Ake. Ake had
Akanji?
no, not Akanji. I thought you said Ake.
No, sorry, not Akanji.
Ake
You probably.
Ake or Akanji? I said, that's what I thought he said. He's our ex-player.
Is it a Akanji?
Akanji is the other one, yeah. But like,
well, no, I thought you were talking about
Akanji's pretty good. Akanji was a pretty good player. Like,
because Nathan Ake, I don't understand how we say he's shit,
still a
but when
pretty good
Pep
player,
goes and win the Champions League with him, it's just like, okay, why is it that we always think these players are shit and they always do all right somewhere else? Big up Ryan Bertrand as well. Retired this that over the last few months, man. Big up Ryan Bertrand.
But in fairness, like that, I mean, that's the thing I don't get is like everybody tries to copy each other's style. It's just like focus on like a style that if you're a counterattacking team, just be a counterattacking team. No one cares. It's
What
like
if?
it's just do it really well. Just do it really well. Like if you do it really well, like you could probably give yourself a chance in the biggest of games. So.
Well, as I said, the problem I don't like about Enzo is the same problem I saw with Lampard, the same problem I saw with Pothead, whatever. They don't adapt.
They don't adapt.
They don't. So literally, and I'm not being funny, Potter, Postecoglou, Enzo Mascarell, they're all high line merchants.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're going to get counted anyway. By everybody else, unless you're Arsenal and looking to impose your own game, we're going to get counted by everybody else anyway. I can't wait until we play Brentford because Worcester and them are going to be charging behind our back line.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see that. Yeah, bro.
What's going to hurt me is going to say when it's Arsenal. Just imagine Saka just burning everyone through to that high line.
There you go. Right, there you go. And that was the example I was going to bring of. When Antonio Conte first came in at Chelsea, he tried a 4-at-the-back system. We got beaten by you guys 3-0. He scrapped the whole system, went back to his own tried and trusted, adapted it for the players he had, and boom, we were the first Premier League team in history to win 30 games in a season.
Yeah, this was Arsenal's criticism for so long. We had players that we could compete with the other teams with, but the tactics it was always we had to play a certain way. We had to play a certain way.
Yeah, but the thing is, adaptability.
It was always the big. It was always the big criticism.
Because the thing is, I don't know about you, but adaptability is not only key in football; it's key in life too.
No,
so I don't. It's mad how these coaches are like. We just try like. I respect certain coaches for sticking to their principles. All right, I really do. But damn,
just all you gotta say is just Ange when we played them, still keeping that high line when they're down without two of their starting center backs.
But at least Poch was clever enough to see it though. At least Poch was clever enough to see it. I'm not being funny. By the way we were ripping open Spurs in that second half, bro, we should have scored 11 goals against them. Fuck that, bro. Hey, Jackson got a hat trick in that game. He should have scored 6 goals.
That's what I was saying. How you say props to the coaches that stick with what they know. But for God's sakes, and trying to adapt or get rid of this highlight, just leave with some dignity.
Well, Jose Mourinho said it best. You don't have time to just put your own system into place. You have to you have to survive that initial period when you first come in as a coach.
Well, no, you have to adapt to the team you've got. Exactly. You have to make use of what you've got with the strengths and weaknesses that you have.
And this was initially I was pissed off with Arteta about this because I'm like, we were supposed to, as a fan, if you're paying good money to go see these games, right? You're pretty much going to scrap an entire system just for the heck of it. Like most fans, it was really hard. Like people forget, just because we're talking about it now, there were periods that were really hard. We just decided to stick with the manager, put up with the nonsense, and we're somewhere now. That's
no. But hang on, but wait. Let me ask you a question. But you don't know if you're somewhere now, though, and I'll explain what I mean by that. It's because say for example,
that's another.
This is just a per se, right? Say if Arteta doesn't win anything again this year, is he a failure then?
According to who? Because
I'm asking you.
You're asking me. Yeah, I mean, I think for me, yes, because I think what I was expecting is you have to get trophies at this point. You do have to get trophies. You're supposed to get trophies. I think the big factor for him is because we've been in runs, title runs. I think people have fondness over that. And some people are more forgiving.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, but you're only in the running if you think you're going to win it. And I don't know anybody I came second, participation medal. Hey!
Well, I mean, the reason I think most people should be pissed because you can. All right, in today's world, you know this. You can make an argument for anything. There's a lot of good salesmen out there, right? But the thing is, we were ahead. We should have had 2 titles, right? we didn't.
I'd say you
adapt.
should have had one. No.
I think
last
both. No,
season,
no. I think two. I think two.
Well,
two
I'd say
would've-
the first season, well, not the first, the season before last was the bigger waste, and the reason why I say that is because you blew it at home with Southampton and Brighton.
Yeah, but it
that-
was
that
also a run
draw-
of games. There was a run of games with that.
Yeah,
one,
there was
too.
a run of games, but including when you guys lost to City. But realistically, you were 6 points behind at the end, and I'm not being
Yeah.
funny. Every home, if you're trying to win the Premier League, you got to win every home game,
Yeah,
every single one.
Agreed.
And I'm not being funny. You guys' weakness is at home. You look at all Arteta's failures, whether it be in the league, Europe. You always lose at home, with maybe the exception of being Bayern last season. All the other when you guys went up at home at Sporting in the Europa League, when you guys got defeated, but was it Brighton beat you guys 3-1, right, at the Emirates?
Yeah.
Back end of the season before last.
Yeah,
And
but,
then,
but at that point though, like we could have stayed in the title race. We just folded. Like if we beat Brighton that day, we would have been in that title race till the end of the day. But we folded. Last year, last year it was because so what you're talking about was like that there was a Liverpool draw that we were up 2-0. So we were up 2-0 at Anfield,
Mhm.
and then they came back and drew that game. That set off like
that Zinchenko thing.
yeah. That's when Trent like burned him like 87th minute he burned him like basically like with a nutmeg and like an assist. But that set off like a bunch. That pretty much set off like the dropping of points that like gave Man City their title and their treble.
Yeah, but
Which should've never happened,
but a draw at Anfield isn't a bad result though.
Yeah, but when you're 2-0 up, no, 2-0.
No, I agree, but that's not necessarily a failure. You're not like you've added 1 point, and you guys were still in the league.
Yeah,
after
no.
that game,
We were still there. It was still in our hands, and then there was Man City beat us. Man City beat us. Last year, Man City didn't beat us, but the issue with last year was we didn't take it to them when it
when
we
mattered.
could have when it mattered.
Yeah.
That was the issue last year. But yeah, but those are the small like inches for titles. I mean, you've been on the other side of it where you've won titles by that narrow margin. So
We've won titles when we weren't expected to win titles as well.
yeah, so that one.
Man City in the Champions League final, went with Conte as well. When everyone thought after we got beaten by Arsenal 3-0 under Conte, everyone thought we were shit and dead and buried, and then he just took the piss out of everybody.
So
But he was
the
quite good.
reason I say like with the Arteta thing is you're gonna look back at those. It's like those were your titles and those were given up, basically. Those were like
Like it's in the palm of your hand. Like
it's in the palm of your hand.
Do you
yeah.
really want to win? Like,
At the end of the day, that's what you gotta do if you're gonna be a champion, though. It's like you gotta stay in control and not lose
You
your
got-
composure. So
You got
Yeah,
to
dude.
finish the deal. The expression is you got to sign it off. You
Yeah.
got to get it done.
now on the because Man City do not lose in they rarely lose in like what is it? Come April, they just go on runs. Like that's like
Yeah, Right, any time second half of the season, that's it. Just after
No,
Christmas.
there's like a certain there's a certain point in April. It's like, oh, Man City's gonna turn it up, and you know,
Because they
like,
always
it's like,
start
there's nothing you
shaky
can
and
do.
then just put their foot on the accelerator about October,
October,
maybe about that time, and they just put their foot on the gas, and that's like, all right, cool, we're off.
because they'll stay in the title race. Like their whole goal for the first half of the season is just to like be within like 4 points. Their goal is to just be
And-
within 4 points. And
so
then,
imagine they did that without De Bruyne. Wait, how long? When was De Bruyne's injury too? Like
No, you're right. They did most of it without him.
last year,
summer.
yeah, last year they didn't have De Bruyne until the second half of the year.
I think they went.
And he still had and
They didn't have Haaland as well because he was injured for 3 months.
And if I remember, I think De Bruyne's stats were like equivalent to like Odegaard. I think if I remember. At the
Bro,
end of the year, like-
we could all sit here and agree without biasness that Kevin De
Oh,
Bruyne is a far better player than what.
Yeah.
One is older. That is true. You got to take into account of that. And one is older. So I will say that because Odegaard's not finished, but yeah,
He's
I
not
wouldn't-
finished. The issue with him is like he just needs more. He needs that a little bit of risk taking in the bigger games. That's my biggest issue with him.
Yeah, he doesn't do enough killer passes. for me.
It's all fun and well, like having this control play style, like whatever, like but that's not what that's not what when you have the biggest position in the team, pretty much everything's run through you.
Mhm.
It's not about like being conservative as conservative to the max, like, and that's where I get on him about it because he has to take more chances. I mean, look at and it has to show up with like bigger goals than he does. So
And
I mean,
I don't think that
people.
comes.
It's not a knock on the guy. I don't hate the guy. I just think like a couple of seasons ago, um, uh, uh, we had Ozil for years, right? And the thing with him is he'd find those magical moments, and then you have this guy. Yes, he presses, he runs and does all that stuff well, but in the biggest of games are won because of a unique creativity in the biggest of games. So
Well, yeah, you need the magic moment.
you need those magic moments, exactly.
You need that risk, and you have to. What will get him more comfortable is that if he sees success at the end of it, like he wins, like the league or Champions League or something. Because until then, he doesn't know what that risk, taking that chance, is going to get him. Right now, he's thinking more like, I want to be the reason for us to lose, or so he goes in that conservative mindset. But I mean, so do you think it's going to? I think get him there, or is this to do if he were to ever leave?
Well, the thing is, like last year, his biggest moment was probably the Porto assist that got us through. Like, I mean, that was probably one of his biggest moments last year. For me, he has to do more. Yeah, for me, like, all right. So this is one of those things. He served in 20 golden chances. I don't know about 20. 20's like if these days I feel like certain things is people just look at stats and be like chance created. When you go look at them, it's like, are they quality chances? Like half the time I feel
clear
like
cut chances.
Clear cut quality. Because sometimes I look at it, it's like like that stat is I think people have already disputed.
It's the Oris.
Oh, it's Oris.
Yes.
They got Oris the Boris.
Yeah, what up? Big up, Oris.
Big up, Oris. What are you saying, brother?
Yeah, I'm alright.
It's like he just woke up.
No.
It's late for you, man. Shit.
Well, hang on. On you, actually, quickly, because obviously he's a surprise guest, but I want to ask him this as a Man United fan, right? With the signing you guys have made, are you guys just collecting all of, Ten Hag's old players, or do you see these guys as upgrades?
I mean, if we're getting De Jong, then we're clearly Ajax United, in it. So I think we're missing a few players to be the Ajax team. But no, listen, I think that it's an upgrade. Massive upgrade. With Mazzuari, I'm not sure. I'm 50-50 on him, but listen, see, because I want midfielders, right? I really want 2 midfielders at this club, so. And those midfielders that were linked with, Ten Hag's never worked for them. So, yeah, it's good to see. So, it's good to see that we're getting players that Ten Hag's previously hasn't worked with De Ligt. He's worked with De Ligt and Mazzuari. So, yeah.
Well, boys, right now, I want to ask you guys a question, and I'm going to let JPT represent Chelsea, and I'm going to keep my mouth shut here, right? I'm going to start off with JPT, then I'll ask Bargav, and then I'll ask Oris. How would you rate this transfer window for us so far?
It was somewhat, man, because it's a lot of my judgment is clouded because of all the kids that we got at this club, and the number of goalkeepers we got. That I don't know. I mean, you see where I'm going here. I think that was Oris. But if we're getting that, we got Neto to the door, Tosino free. Who else came to Chelsea? Kieran just very home.
Pedro.
Yeah.
Pedro in the end zone. Sorry, I had to say that.
Neto. I mean, if we don't get a striker, I'll give this. And when I say striker, I mean like Victor Osimhen. C. I'll give it a grade. I'll give it like a C+, B-, because we did address some of the problems, but man, how much of it it's just overinflation in the squad. We have 4 different starting 11s at this point now.
Oh yeah, and you can put about 3 different goalkeepers in each of them.
Exactly. I know we got potentially 80 games coming up, but come on.
We got a goalkeeper per game, bro.
We're not gonna get a Golden Glove winner.
Balance that with the outgoings. What are the outgoings?
Smart business-wise. A+. I mean, Jesus, look at the profits we got in just from the academy, like for profit players. But I mean, what I've told Wolf at what cost. Because should we have gotten rid of Matson? Should we have gone? Are we going to get rid of Chalaba and Gallagher for the sake of pure profit? And also, like, we're getting rid of players while we have players that are, I would say, clearly worse than they are, staying at the club. Like, we're selling Shaba, we could get rid of Disasi, or even...
That's another guy we haven't used in preseason who can play on the right. Diassi.
Why? And
It's
I don't know
crazy.
why we haven't seen him in preseason.
And
then,
you know what I mean?
So, yeah.
You know,
We'll
big
see.
up, Deals. How you
Big
doing,
up,
brother?
big up JPT, big up Bergov, big up Oris, big up Wolfie.
Big up, brother. Now, listen, before I drop you into the convo, right, because there's a couple of things I want to ask you, Deals. Let me quickly ask Bargav that question, Oris that question, then I want to pick your brain about this, yeah? So bear with me a minute. Right, Bargav, how would you rate your transfer window so far? I can't hear him.
I can't hear you, mate.
Yeah. The transfer window's been terrible. I mean, the biggest needs weren't done. I mean, but we'll have to see. I guess there's some surprises coming. So maybe, I guess, just based on the way things work, I mean, they could change everything. But for me, I think like the striker and midfielder should have already been here. I mean, if you're going for the title and you're being serious about it, like, that should be already done. We had one signing come in. Smith Rowe, I guess, like needed to go. I mean, but Smith Rowe and Eddie Nketiah still not gone yet. So,
the cheek. You not turning down that £27 million pound for him. The cheek.
Well, the thing is, I mean, there's not much I can say. It's all out there. Like, I mean, if the biggest needs are addressed, I'd probably say the transfer window's okay. But as far as like go get that midfielder in, this Marino thing, it just keeps going. Are we in for Marino or are we not? Like, I still don't. People say we're in for him. Go with it, I guess. But there's still so much to do. And even then, like, you know, at the beginning, I looked at it. I'm like, if we get like someone like Kimmich, right? Like, for example, we have to compete in the Champions League. So, do we have Champions League experience in the biggest areas? In a way, like I would require that too. So, I'm not really happy with it, but we'll see in 2 weeks. Though we'll see. Surprises are coming, according to Edu. So,
Oris, can you hear me, Oris?
Yeah, listen. For me, I would have preferred the Little before preseason, but
and you can get unlucky in injuries as well. I know what that's like, getting a fresh player, brother, and him out for 4 months.
For me, that's on Ten Hag, man. He's absolutely silly to play him 2 matches in a row in the friendly. So, yeah, that was on Ten Hag. I mean, if you want it out to 10, if I'm being honest, I'll probably give it like a 6-5, because for me, midfielders is the priority for me. Like, all these like expectations that United fans have with the attackers, that comes down to creativity in that midfield. So Casemiro, I need someone, you know, that's going to be Casemiro like a replacement for him. So for me, 5-6 out of 10 for me. But listen, it's promising signings. Delit I can get excited with. Obviously, Zirkzee, fair enough, but I need midfielders. So yeah.
Fair enough. Deals, my brethren, are you there?
Big up.
Big up, brother. Yeah, I can hear you. A bit distant, but I can hear you. But listen, with Pedro Neto coming in, right, and that we all got gassed about it when we heard it, but then reality came crashing back in it as, oh yeah, we're shit though. You know what I mean? Like, so.
No, listen. I think it's a good operation. The reason why we got Neto out of nowhere. Nobody knew about the situation of us getting Neto, because if you look at it, yeah, right, who else was being talked about getting Neto?
Spurs.
Arsenal was there. I know Arsenal was there, and I know Man City was there. Man City was also been spoken about that they wanted Neto, because apparently they came in to try to hijack the deal, but the deal was too wrapped up. We got it wrapped up quickly. You know what I'm saying? Straight in there, got the deal done. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when we're into deals like this, I like the way that we operated the Neto deal, because nobody knew about it. Nobody knew about the situation.
Yeah, it was on the quiet.
It was on the quiet, and this is the way that we should be doing business, going to get our deals done, so nobody knows about the situation.
Well, can I ask you a question? By that, right? Just
Yeah.
let me try and interpret what you've just told me. Do you think there's more in the pipeline, or is this a blueprint of how things should be done from now on?
This is the way that we should be trying to do business. Go get the player under wrapped, yeah, so nobody knows. Because if you look at it, yeah, all the business that has been known, put out there, it gets made as a PR spin. You know what I'm saying? And this one was not a PR spin. It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's a solid talent. Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
dress this up one way or the other. Yeah.
And how I look at it, yeah, they probably looked at the way that Roman dealt with signings, right? And thought, hang on, we need to do it like that. And they done it like that with Neto. That's the way they try to do it with Neto, right? Because if you look at it, under Roman, we done things like that. We did do things like that where out of the blue, suddenly we get the player. You know what I'm saying? And nobody knew. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knew that we was gonna go get Torres. Remember?
Yeah, Fernando Torres. Yeah.
Nobody knew. No one knew that we was gonna.
That was out of the blue, but that was kind of like Sergio Aguero was available for 40 mil at that time. I was just like, new.
Yeah. Nobody knew that we was gonna go do deals like that. So, in a sense, it's a good deal for us, Neto. I think he is a level raiser. I know he's got his injury problems, right? But at the same time, we're talking about a player that is very creative. I know he doesn't score goals that much, and that's where I would like to see him improve his game, right? I'd like to see him improve his game by scoring goals. That's what I would like to see by Neto. Improve his goals, end product. Creativity, we know it's there. But again, Palmer's not gonna be. It's not gonna be a Palmer story like last season. He's got.
You would hope not. You would hope there's more to it this time round.
He's got players playing with him now. In Nkunku, your Netos, the likes of. Oh yeah, we're gonna get into the Felix story because we're really gonna get into that story.
Well, we got to be quick about it because JPT's got a bounce in 20. So if you want to get to the João Felix thing.
Yeah, JPT, what's your thoughts on the João Felix thing? Because yeah, go on, bro.
I mean, look, I like the player, but it's not a player that we need at the moment. There's other places on the field we need to address. I'd rather we get the Osimhen deal done first, but I think a lot of the fans were just happy that it's not Samu. Last name starts with I cannot pronounce it. And I think that's what a lot of fans are happy about. Just it's not this. We're instead going to get João Felix out of the deal. It's supposedly for a fairly cheap price. But I don't know. I just at this point, we're going to be sticking with Conor Gallagher. If this deal doesn't go through, we might see him leave on a free.
Which is not a bad. I think it's not a bad shout about Gallagher going on a free because look at the situation we left him in.
Yep.
Right. I don't see him going to no other Premier League club. It depends because no other Premier League club is going to come with the money. I don't see no other Premier League club coming in.
But why do we need? I'd rather just send him out of the league because who was linked with him? Spurs.
Yes, Spurs and Aston Villa. And then they said an unnamed Premier League club came in with a bid, but we gave them to Atletico. So
makes sense.
So no, but again, with this Felix deal, I think it makes all sense, right? Because if you look at it, yeah, we need depth, we need cover in a sense in our attack. Because if you look at it, yeah, I don't rate Madueke, I don't rate Sterling, and I don't rate Mudryk, right? If Felix comes in, he's better than all three of them, in my opinion. I think he's better than all three of them, right? Because he has got the end product. He has got the skill, the composure, you know? Because when he was here on loan, right, I think he done a good job being at Chelsea on loan. I thought he was alright being at Chelsea on loan, right? But the problem is we changed manager, and Pochettino said no, I don't want him last season. That's why we didn't get him last season. That was the whole issue.
Mm.
I mean, it's
How
true.
long? How long? All right. So if Neto, so this like these players like Felix and whatnot, how many years do you think is Felix gonna stay there long?
Well, they're talking about him. They're talking about him being on a pay cut. He would be going on. He would be willing to go on a pay cut to join us. And apparently, he's told George Mendes make the deal happen. So he wants to come to Chelsea. Yeah, he wants to. But the problem is this Gallagher deal gonna get done? That's the question.
Well, it depends. That depends on Diego and the Atletico board, because even though as far as I know, they're literally just gonna finish the deal and just say, look, just sign off of it and it's completed. So it depends on how much, because for Atletico Madrid, keeping Connor there makes sense, considering how much talent, because I think Bargav and me were talking about a couple of weeks ago about how many.
Do you think Felix
It's
is
a match made in heaven.
Do you think Felix is a better player than Gallagher?
Yeah, but we're supposedly replacing Gallagher with Palmer in the middle.
Yeah,
So
no, but I'm just asking you about that. I thought Felix, to be fair, I think we're doing a broad daylight robbery.
well, you can say that, but we're gonna have to fit Palmer, Felix, Nkuku, Neto. Well, no, Neto plays more on the wides. More
Yeah,
on
but-
the wide position.
Yeah, but those three players actually play for the team though. So that's they're not exactly players that that rely on other people. So it's a lot easier to fit that together.
Unless he moves Nkuku or Palmer to the midfield, which is most likely.
God damn, man.
Yeah, but then who do you take out then?
Right.
Then Dewsbury Hall, and well, it depends.
Well, he was never starting.
Enzo's gonna have Enzo Maresca's gonna have a headache to make. He's gonna have a headache to make. If Felix comes in, trust me, there's gonna be a headache to make.
Well, I like what JP just said, because I'm not being funny. If Kieran Dewsbury Hall walks into our team and somehow is a starter, then I'm gonna be like, hang on a minute, this guy was a championship player last year. How did he go from just winning the championship to trying to be king of the Premier League? Like, nah, man.
Well, it's because it's Enzo.
From what it seems the other day, it seems like he's not going to start Dewsbury Hall. Yeah, I don't think he was starting.
I hope not.
He's got the trust to start him though, because obviously he's worked with him before.
That's the thing.
Well, the thing is, I don't see how he doesn't start Palmer, Enzo, and Concedo. To be fair.
One of them is getting dropped. One of them is getting dropped, like 100%. And I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Lavia, which I don't think is a good idea. Lavia needs to start. I rate Lavia highly.
Well, then you got an overload then, which is what we have anyway. But it's just one of those ones where instead of being an overload, because we've got loads of midfielders we're not going to use, because we still got people like Andre Santos and them at the club.
Wolfie,
unless Strasbourg can help us out again.
Wolfie, you know who doesn't look fit and ready? You know who doesn't look fit and ready? Casado.
Well, no, he just come back from the Copa America, so I could understand that.
I wouldn't start him against Man City. Who did we lose?
Yeah, that actually is kind of like
Well, I was going to ask him something, but he split.
You guys get like some like good exciting players to pop up every time. I have to sit here and like wait for people to like you guys get exciting players all the time, man. God damn.
So I was gonna ask Barga. So I know the Calafiore deal is the one that's done, but is there like any war with like the Marino deal, or you guys now get Coleman? What's going on? Because it's just one player, which is crazy. Because
I think what's happening right now is I think it's just a transfer market in general. Is like people are just waiting for the end, because then they know they have to make moves versus
fire sale.
Yeah, basically there's gonna be like a fire sale like the last like week of the season.
Wolfie, where did Uris go?
I don't know. I was just about to ask him as well, because I was going to ask everybody else, because the season kicks off next week. Like what It's going to be everyone's predictions, but Oris is fucked off. So Oris, if you can still hear us, in some way out there in like YouTube land, if you can still hear us, Oris, give us your predict. Because I was going to ask you for Man United's finish in the Premier League as a prediction, but you disappeared. So Oris, if you can hear me, where do you think Man United are going to finish in the Premier League? Now, Bargav, quickly, where do you think Arsenal are going to finish in the Premier League? Because JPT's got a bounce in a minute.
I mean, it's too hard to answer now, man. I mean, and I said 10 games. Like,
that's what I normally say, but all right, just
I guess.
just a rough
no,
guess.
because I have no idea. Like, that's when like you're gonna start seeing like the next 10 games. You're gonna start seeing like these styles that we're gonna play for the most part. So this California thing is interesting. I'm pretty sure like that's like a system move anyway. So I want to see what happens with that one before I say anything on that. But
no worries.
where do I think like are we gonna make top 4? Probably. Like that's the only thing. That's the only thing I'll say for right now because it's definitely a competitive league. So just wait for it.
All right, Deals. Where do you think we're gonna finish in the Premier League, bro?
I think we finish 4th if we get Osterman.
4th.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we finish 4th.
Okay. JPT?
I don't want to say like if Victor were to come to Chelsea because right now we're just thinking about who's for sure at Chelsea. Right now, I'm gonna at highest I say 5th. I'm gonna think we're gonna finish in 6th again.
Yeah, this question is best asked after the transfer window closes.
Yeah, because then you see who
it's the best time. It is really the best time. Like,
Well, yeah, it is.
it's
but
just
I'm
like
not
wild
being-
prediction, I guess.
But no offense, I'm asking these two boys particularly
Yeah.
because after seeing our pre-season and
Yeah.
how we've lined up in that. If we finish top 10, we'll be lucky because I'm not being funny. Defensively, we're gonna be all over the place.
Like
Well, you think so, Wolfie? You think so?
I mean,
Do I think so? Have you not seen it in pre-season, bruv?
Like
Uh,
deals. I'd be surprised if we get 5 clean sheets all season.
Seriously,
At
Jake.
that.
I don't know, man. That's a bit of a stretch, but
No,
there's
I mean we might win, but I think we let in a goal like
Let's
almost
see,
every other game.
Or
Don't say
every
a word.
game.
We might get another centre back in this window. Don't say a word. It's not.
yeah, like I mean, that's
Well, it ain't over till it's over, but it's looking over already with the way we're playing.
Can I say something quickly? As much as Arsenal's our rivals, yeah, I think they have a good chance of winning the league. I can't lie.
it still depends, man. There's because okay, here's one thing. Here's one factor, and I think I was trying to get. I was gonna say like if there's like one factor with City is like Haaland had a down year last year, right? For a player of his caliber, like he wants to get back in that like Ballon d'Or conversation and whatnot. So do you think he'll get back into that like extremely high level this year, like using last year as a chip on his shoulder? Because last year the pressure was to like repeat a treble. That's incredibly hard. I get that part, but
It depends if they're gonna get that another midfielder because apparently they're looking to get another midfielder to be around that spot. Because if you look at it, yeah, they got Cover, they got Nunes, and who else they got? Rodri, Bernardo Silva, right? Personally, that balance in the midfield, that's what they're missing, I think. And I think once they get a number 8, I think that's where you would see them play more better for Liverpool. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it, yeah, I think they're missing something in that midfield.
yeah, that'll be their biggest weakness. Yeah, that'll be their biggest weakness.
100%.
Yeah, JPT says for United, that's how the injury list looks. Yeah, that's true because their players are dropping like flies at the minute. It'll depend on who's fit to start. So yeah,
I can't lie, Man United has to do one favour for me though. Please, Chilwell. Take Chilwell. Yeah. I was gonna say that. How did you know? How did you know I was gonna say that?
25 million.
Because we all wanted.
Yeah, we all want Chilwell gone. Like. Oh yeah, and by the way, that's one person who hasn't played at all in pre-season for what I saw, Kukurea.
Hey, Barbara, what's going on with the links for you lot with Gokares? What's going on with that?
It's the same thing. I mean, it's I'm pretty sure the club's just like, we're gonna supposedly something big is coming according to like reports, but
Oh,
the way people but the thing is like that striker should have been done, like should have been the first thing done.
Yeah.
Like that should you had all summer. You had all summer to figure that one out. So the Eddie thing needs to happen the other way, but so at
the
this point,
defense
I
is
don't
in
know.
trouble.
At this point, it's the only thing left. It's the one thing left. Just do it. Like, but it's like I don't know. It's we'll see. We'll
Because
see.
you've been linked to the same striker as us, Osherman as well.
Yeah, but the thing
Is
is,
it-
you guys don't like penny pinch. So most of the time, like when you want deals done, you just be like, oh, we'll just pay the extra 5 just to like
No, it's not
avoid the
gonna be
headache. But
it's not gonna be like that because obviously we are in a win-win situation with Osherman because of Lukaku.
but I guess so he has put his request in, right? He has put his request in, if I remember.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah,
official, right, at Napoli?
yeah.
So the only issue with that is does he want is PSG, right? I think PSG is the big one.
No, they can't buy him.
Well, they turned around. Apparently, Luis Enrique's turned around and said he doesn't want Osherman.
He doesn't want Osherman.
No, he doesn't. He reckons he don't suit his style of play.
I think it's
We also
either
Yeah, but that-
Chelsea or nothing right now at this point for him.
Yeah,
We
we'll have to
also
see
have-
what that we have to see with that team in the Champions League because that's gonna be it's gonna be a new look PSG for the first time. But
The reason
I'm
why
pretty
I
sure that
think
guy's
we-
gonna fire.
The reason why I think we're in a win-win situation, yeah, is because Napoli want Lukaku.
Yeah,
We want a deal done with Osherman, and it makes all sense to sort out a deal. It's just a matter of whether or not is Osherman willing to take a pay cut,
no, yeah,
and
yeah.
how much are we willing to give wages? That's what I want to know. Are we willing to go to above 200, or is it going to be 200k, around 200k? That's the
See,
question.
I mean, the other thing with these striker situations is because they're going to be on big money. I feel like is he going to be your guy for the next 4 years?
Well, it depends. It depends. It really depends how he would link up with our attack. And
I think that's one of the big reasons. Like, no one's like actually the Jokeres thing is I'm not sure about either. Like Jokeres for the next 4 years.
Oh,
I'm not
breaking news, by the way. Breaking news for Liverpool fans. Zubamendi has decided to stay at Sociedad. So
No way.
the only good side in they thought they were gonna go is gone out the window.
yeah. Hey, Wolfie, that was out earlier. That was out earlier, bro.
I
That was out
know.
earlier. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, oh, sorry.
Bro, listen. Lakama, Kieran. Lakama. If you're watching Kieran, Lakama. Yeah? You had all the audacity to talk. Yeah?
Look,
What are you saying now?
look, we're not gonna go into.
Rejected FC.
We haven't
Listen.
got the time.
yeah,
I-
yeah.
I also think the reason why that was never done for Liverpool is because Arsenal. I think Arsenal were gonna get Marino, and Real Sociedad said, "Yo, we're not selling both. We're not selling
Yeah.
both Zubimendi and Moreno." So I think that's the reason why they blocked the Zubimendi deal. You know what I'm saying?
No, for what I understand, Zubamendi chose to stay.
Yeah, but I'm sure. But Bargrave, am I correct? Moreno
No, I
was-
feel like that could be true because it's kind of like the Crystal Palace situation, right? I think Eze and Elise, they're gonna sell one but not two.
Yeah.
So
Even with Kvaratskhelia and Osherman, look what's happening over there. They can't sell
One of them's going
Kvaratskhelia. They don't want to sell Kvaratskhelia because Kvaratskelia's agent was like, "Oh, I want to leave Napoli," but you know, they don't want to sell both. They want to
Money
sell one.
talks, bruv. If you coughed up like 60 or 70 million for them, they'd sell, bruv.
Also, too, like how much like are they just like disposable, like they're expendable?
Because
Yeah, but- yeah, that's the-
Onana needed Everton. Sorry, Everton needed Onana, but he still got rid of him.
yeah, but you can't just implode your entire projects for money all the time. Like, I mean, you can sell one year and like the next year, like sell the other. But
Remember,
to sell
remember
both of them
Spanish-
is difficult.
remember, imagine Spanish players don't like leaving their adaptation, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
That's with Italian players as well. I was actually surprised that Calafiori actually came to England. I was actually surprised that he actually.
No, Italians. A lot of Italians do come to England, bro. If you look
Not
over the
every-
last like 20, 30 years, there's been a lot of Italian players.
Yeah, I know, but not a lot. No, but rarely do you see players. It's managers mainly. And it
Mm.
Am I lying,
Yeah,
bro?
I saw over the last few years. I get what you mean. It's
But-
not
but I
often
think-
that a player goes from Italy to England as opposed to the
Yeah.
other way around. Because obviously you had Figgy to Newcastle last year as well. What's his name again? The guy that got banned.
Oh, Sandro
Oh,
Tonali.
Tonali?
Sandro Tonali. Oh yeah, that's another situation. Sandro Tonali.
But anyway, look, we're gonna have to rant. Sorry, what was that, Deals?
What's your thoughts on Enzo Fernandez being captain?
Or he's vice captain or something.
He's vice captain.
Crazy.
He's captain, bro.
That's
Well,
crazy.
We'll have to go into that another time, Deals, because JPT's got a bounce.
I think I'm
I
gonna
know you're
go.
not happy with that JPT. Where's Prime at? By the way.
I don't.
What? No,
I
there's
have
no
no idea.
point. I sent in the link up. Well, I sent everyone the link. So
When's the next show? When's the next show, Wolfie?
next week.
Watch along
Always.
too.
But there'll be a watch along for City, obviously. But we're not going to talk that because we're bricking it against City, really.
I'll try.
I got Haaland's going to have another field day, bro. You can see it
Oh,
coming.
the Cucurella song's gonna come back to Holland.
You reckon?
What do you think?
Bro, I think we can beat them, bro.
If
Yeah.
our defense somehow tightens up
No,
before Sunday,
No. My reasoning for this, we got something for them. In Cuckoo, Neto, Palmer. Don't say a word. They're sleeping on that attack, blood.
Hey,
If that- listen,
we'll all be
don't say
happy.
a word.
We'll all
say
be
a
happy
word.
if that happens, but
Don't say a word.
All I'm going to say to that is we'll see.
it's true though. I'll be happy if you beat.
Yeah,
If you beat City.
all I'm going to say to that is
Hey,
we'll see.
hey, Wolfie, hey. If that attack clicked straight away, yeah, do you know how much damage that attack would do?
Bro, nothing's given.
Yeah, nothing's good.
right now
hear you,
we
but
still don't even know what our starting
And,
lineup
and by the way, and just to answer that, as dangerous as we are in attack, we're fucking shit at the back.
Yeah, 100%.
If we were great up front and great, by the way, we're not even proven to be great up front right away. We just could be good.
But
That's how we finish.
Wait there. How come we drew with Man City last season then? Everyone
Yeah, but
said
bro,
the
this
same-
is a different team. Already, this is a different team.
No,
Thiago
it's
Silva's
not.
gone. Sterling's the problem.
It's not
What
the
happens to that?
pleasure diff. It's also the system.
Wait there. Thiago Silva, did he actually play a full game?
Well, can I ask you a question? Has our defense looked any better since he's gone?
No.
Proofs in the pudding, bro. Facts don't lie.
But we because you know City don't start off great. You know that, right?
Well, did we start off great?
I mean, you say they don't start off great. Didn't they score 2 goals in the first 5 minutes in the preseason?
Against
So-
us?
Yeah. But
Because they just know we have to put that pressure on us and we fold like a fucking
you never
lawn
know.
chair.
You never know. They might start off bad against us. You never know, man.
Look, I'll tell you what. Let me put it this way, right? In my heart as a Chelsea fan, I hope we blister Man City. We beat, we can keep possession. Right, obviously not the complete product. We maybe beat them 2-1, whatever. But realistically, from what I've seen, it's still a copycat against the master, bro.
Where is that game anyway? Where is that game?
Stamford Bridge.
That's
Oh yeah, and that's not forgetting as well that over the last 4 or 5 times we played Man City, we've been fucked every game,
Listen, hey,
one way or another.
we got Neto and Palmer. And
Bro, I
Keita.
don't care, bruv. We can have Deals. Let me
It's
explain.
the
something to you.
refs and
No.
VAR,
Let me
too.
explain something to you. We can have their players with VAR and replays jump up in the middle of their boxes, handball the ball, and we don't even get a corner.
I just hope we're catching City on their.
I
back.
hear you, but I'm not being funny, bruv. Football
No,
is
hey.
fucked.
Do you remember when we catched them on their bad day last time? Look what happened.
Ah,
They
bro,
missed
I don't want to
chances.
be able to catch Man City on a bad day. I want to slap them up how we used to slap them up. 6-0, bro, at the bridge.
Yeah, but that won't happen. That won't happen with Pep Guardiola.
Well, it won't happen as it is now. I'll give you that.
No, 100%.
Dang, well, one way or the other way. Oh, we were though in the FA Cup. We should have got a penalty. In the Premier League game before that, they got a penalty for no reason.
What I say to you, the difference is, yeah, back then when we had Tuchel and we slapped them up 3 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think we can do that with Maresco straight away? I don't think so.
Well, okay.
Maresca's
But
not tactical.
But if you had a whole preseason, wouldn't you expect a performance though?
No.
What did you say?
If you had a whole preseason, you'd expect a performance, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but
Did I see his toes?
it could be good for you guys to play him early, though. I'll tell you that much.
We'll see. But anyway, because JPT's got a bounce, I want to just big up everyone. Stepsy, late joiner, E Rossi. Big up E Rossi as well, late joiner. I hope you both.
Big up the chat.
Yeah, big up everyone. Rosie, DJ Crane, obviously. Rosie's there. Here to there's there. We've had obviously Mel there as well. We had Oris a little while ago. I don't know what happened to him. But big up everybody because we've got to let this go. Smash a subscribe, smash a like. Please, please, please help these boys out. Everyone's great. Stay safe, everyone. And we are out of here. Peace, people.